Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Tuesday afternoon, a little bit late, we've been singing and I'm always a bit tongue-tied after the singing for some reason. But anyway, I'm here, I'll do my best. I have the After Tarot on the tarot table for this reading. Yeah, much battered box, the After Tarot. The After Tarot because we're dealing with a rather interesting little scenario that we all witnessed. Well, those few of us who could be bothered to watch has been playing polo in Singapore. But there he was with a very attractive, I want to say girl because of my advanced age, but no, she's about 36 years old, so not a girl, woman, very attractive woman, Beth Hurley. Beth Hurley at his side, gazing adoringly at him as he was waving his hands around and spewing his usual nonsense, in my opinion. So we want to know, of course, inquiring minds, who this Beth Hurley is and what is going on. And everyone's been on her case, poor girl, but she did ally herself with the Parkles, so I suppose that's the price you pay. Royal Rogue's been at it, the people on Reddit have been digging over who she is and everyone else too. And it turns out that Beth Hurley was once the assistant private secretary to the Duchess of Sussex when she was still a working royal. Prior to that, she had served with the Cambridges, as they were at that point, working for the Royal Foundation as an events organizer. Before that, she was an actress, model, had done some rather interesting work, shall we just put it like that. And then, as I say, moved across to work for the Duchess of Sussex. She must have been one of those recipients of those 5 a.m. emails and phone calls and things, but seemed to survive the experience, still feeling favourable towards the Parkles, because when Brexit happened and all their staff lost their jobs, very abruptly, Beth and a friend started Hurley, which seems to be some sort of PR company working in the charitable sphere, a charity sphere, shall we say. And she is described, she and her partner are described as the eyes and ears of the Parkles in the UK. I thought Princess Eugenie was that. But no, it's Beth Hurley and her partner. Now, I can't find out anything about her, but I spent about 5 minutes Googling, so I can't say I have applied my mind to it. I'm sure that our expert sleuths out there online will be doing precisely what I didn't do. And so I have no idea whether she's single, married, what she is. I know she's about 36 years old, and that is all I can tell you about our friend Beth. But of course, we all want to know what is going on, because way back in the mists of time, when everyone still foolishly and naively, well, I did, foolishly and naively believed that poor has-been had been led astray by a calculating woman, older woman, with evil intent, and he was just an innocent, gullible thing. We all were wondering who the future Duchess was going to be, and lots of people were speculating and doing tarot readings, and goodness knows what. That's about 5 years ago now. I'm embarrassed to say I was, watching all of those things way back 5 years ago and thinking that, well, has-been very soon would come to his senses and wake up and divorce the claw and marry future Duchess, and we could all have our faith in the universe restored, the universe that, as portrayed by the men in grey suits at the palace, who had managed to portray him as this lovely, fun, charitable, down-to-earth fellow, happy chappy that we should all love. Not quite. So future Duchess has disappeared from the scene, but is she back? That's what we're looking at now. We're going to do a 7-card reading. We're doing this with the After Tarot, and we are going to look at the situation, how the two feel about each other, how Meghan Markle feels about her former assistant private secretary making eyes at her husband. Interesting. Seemed that way anyway. And where their relationship has been, where the relationship might be going. Haven't done one of these spreads for a while, but time for it, I think. And it fits so nicely on the tarot table. we've got the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, and I haven't said the usual thing. Disclaimer, tarot, fun, entertainment, all my opinion, all speculation. I'm reading energy, archetypal energy. Disclaimer in the box below. We have the disclaimer in the box below, and we have the Nine of Cups as our underlying energy. That is a dream come true, a wish fulfilled. As the Royal Rogue pointed out so happily yesterday, Beth does have rather a Cressida Bonus look about her. She's that kind of English rosy kind of a girl with the good cheekbones and everything, the good breeding. I don't know where she comes from and who she is. As I say, my 5-minute Google didn't manage to discover those things. But this is a very interesting card. Very. As our underlying energy. So let's look and see what we are dealing with. Heart of this reading. Knight of Cups in reverse. That's our polo player. He might have drunk too much, but he might have drunk from a poisoned chalice as well, our polo player. He is very erratic emotionally. He's all over the place emotionally, our Knight of Cups. He's showing up curiously more and more as a Knight of Cups and less as a Knight of Pentacles, our Earth sign prince whose birthday it is next month. And that's very interesting that his emotions are coming out. Emotions that are, as I say, all over the place. He's not in control of them. Is he on the rebound? That would be for me somebody on the rebound. Knight of Cups in reverse. If I was doing a reading for Beth Hurley here, personal reading, I would say, run Beth, run. As I say, I don't know who she is. I don't know what her preferences are. She might not be interested for all we know, but we are going to find out right now. How does she, according to the energy of these cards, how does she feel about Harry? Well, we got the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is catching. It's a money card, quite obviously. It's what you've invested in. She has spent a long time invested in this relationship. We're not sure whether it's a personal relation, a romantic relationship, potentially, we'll find out, or just a business relationship, something that she's seen the material gain to be had from this relationship, which would be on the face of it, the Seven of Pentacles there. I've invested in this, I've put in time, I've put in effort, and this is my paycheck, this is my pension. I'm making damn sure that I am going to benefit as much as possible financially from all this effort that I have expended on this situation. But it's also more than that. It's time and effort spent. You've invested in something. You're nurturing it with the Seven of Pentacles. You're making sure that eventually it bears fruit. She could be playing the long game with that card. It's not cups. There we have cups, but in reverse, all over the place. And probably drinking, my opinion. But she, our Beth, has put in years. She's put years into this relationship, whatever this relationship is, and is expecting some kind of return at the end. Very interesting. Has Megan met her match? We're going to have to wait a little bit in this reading and see how does Hasbeen feel about Beth. We've got the seven, we've got two sevens, interestingly. We've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. I think Beth is his confidant. And she's shown up. We've been speculating who he might be telling his truths to. I did a reading on this children's story, the never-ending children's story, and the speculation, the rumour that he might be ready to confess all. And he has been confiding in someone in the UK, a friend. This is this kind of energy. This is not romantic energy. This is somebody who's a mess, Knight of Cups, and who now needs to tell. It's confession time with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Upright, the Seven of Swords is Megxit, is running away, is doing bad things, dodgy things, duplicitous things, deceiving people, being cowardly, being dishonest, and we've seen all of that stuff, and I'll throw in one of those allegedlys just for old time's sake. But I think we know that he really has done that and then disappeared, Mexited, left poor old Beth to pick up the pieces of her life, no doubt, and form this company. But now it's time. I want to come back. I want to confess. How does Beth feel about Megan? She was, as I say, very closely associated, worked for Megan all those years ago. Can't believe 5 years ago or so. As I say, she's put in time and effort, and she was with the Cambridges before. There could even be 7 whole years that Beth has given of her life to this situation. As I say, she's about 36, means that she would have really entered the royal family in her late 20s, around 29, Saturn return. We've got kind of Saturn return energy here. What am I going to get for those 7 years I put in for the royals and with the Parkles? Beth's feelings about the wife, Megan. The moon, oh, she knows her secrets. She knows her secrets. Moon in reverse, she knows all. She might even know about the things that go bump under the light of the moon. She might know all about that, our girl Beth, who has put in those 7 years of hard work and wants her reward. This is so interesting. But she knows all. She sees clearly, moon in reverse, she sees clearly. She might think that the wife is cray-cray because the moon is a crazy card. Somebody who's quite unhinged. I am speculating, of course. But she is not afraid of her. She's not intimidated by her. She's very clear in her own mind what she thinks, what she knows. Very interesting. What does Megan think about Beth? Megan, no doubt, has seen the speculation all over the place in social media. Who is this girl, woman, making eyes at has-been? And what does Megan feel right now about her former assistant private secretary? Death. Death in reverse. Death is change, transformation when it's upright, endings. I think she would quite like this situation to end, but it's not ending. It's still, from Megan's point of view, the situation needs to end, but hasn't ended. I think she'd quite like to fire Beth with that energy, fire the company, but here it still is going on. It needs this poisonous association needs to be ended, cauterized, neutralized, whatever, but it's not. It's something that she's towed along behind her from her days of royaling, her brief 72 days as a working royal. There are those royals all trampled underfoot by death. And I wonder if Beth's a Scorpio. Just a wild speculation. But Megan would like this to end, can't end it for some reason. Probably because it's has-been's feeling. So I haven't asked who's more invested in this situation, whether it's Harry or Megan. And there's more to find out about here. I was just taking the temperature of this to see what showed up. And what's shown up is death in reverse and moon in reverse. Very interesting cards. Let's see where the relationship with Beth and Harry was in the past, where it started in its beginning energy. What was it about? King of Cups. So that's a William energy. She did, of course, start working for Prince William. Some people are thinking maybe she's a spy. I don't get spy energy here, a Cambridge kind of plant. But she's the eyes and ears of the Parkles in the UK. Not really. It is a William kind of an energy. But it's, I have to always say that when I see King of Cups, because we're doing royal readings and he shows up as that energy. But we're going way back into the past now. And I think the relationship was a very emotional one. Very connected emotionally with that King of Cups. A lot of sharing going on there. Sharing about feelings, what's going on. She might have gone through some trauma and found that she could confide in Harry, or felt that she could share her feelings with Harry, that he was sympathetic, that he listened. I think she sees him through rose-tinted glasses because of that, and that's why we see her looking at him adoringly, because I think she still sees that. But let's see where this is going in the future. Where is this going in the future, this relationship? Ooh, we've gone from King of Cups to King of Pentacles. That's very solid. That's a very long-lasting relationship. She's going to side with him, not with Megan. The moon is not a fond, I think you're lovely card. Not at all. Moon in reverse, not at all. And Megan, death in reverse. These two cards, if you're talking astrology now and karma and stuff like that, we're on it. Moon, death, huge indications of some sort of karmic tie between these two women. Whereas here, with the sevens, you've got this thought, a connection through taking stock, looking at life, assessing life. As I say, with this King of Cups in the past, I get the idea that they would hang out together and tell their mutual, maybe their dating woes or whatever was going on. But it gets more solid in the future. This connection is going to last the distance. Let's clarify, what's that King of Pentacles? Does it mean that it's going to be romantic, or is this financial? Is there a romantic element? Just to clarify that card. That just flew out. I'm going to take another card. That's a strength card. That is a connection, a very strong connection. It's not romantic necessarily. Is this going to head in a romantic direction? Is it in that territory, or are we all barking up the wrong tree here? We're barking up the wrong tree with the Ten of Swords so far, because Has-Been's got to go through this crisis, the ruined reputation, the collapse of the marriage, all of that kind of stuff. It's too early. Our girl's playing a very long game, and I'm going to ask again, because I do have the time, and hopefully you do too. Is our girl in it for the money, or is she playing a very long game as this Ten of Swords event happens? Is she in it for the money, or is she in it for something more? A ring on her finger. Is she our future Duchess? Let's ask. Is she playing a very, very, very long game? What's going on? Card fell out. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is an adventure kind. I nearly said an adventuress, and I don't mean it in that sense at all. But it's an adventure card. It's off playing polo in foreign climates. It's exciting. It's not romantic. I'm struggling to find romance here, as you can see. The only cups, but it's interesting. This is why I keep scratching around, because our underlying energy is the Nine of Cups. Somebody's wish is here, sitting under here, but it's buried. It's buried very far down, because we have a whole mess to get through. We have confession time. We have secrets she knows, seemingly. We have somebody over here who needs to end things but isn't ready to end things yet. Could be needs to end her marriage. Could be needs more than just her relationship with Beth, or her view of Beth. We've got a journey that we're still going on. We have got our Knight of Cups. He's very erratic. This is also an erratic thing. It is, I have to say, it's a very sexual card, the Knight of Wands. Sexual adventures, infidelity, having romps, that kind of energy. So there is that energy in it. But it's this card that is the interesting one. Because there's the husband card, the King of Pentacles. It's very committed. If you're doing a relationship reading and you get that as your outcome, you know, you've got a winner there. You've got someone who's going to stay the distance and be serious about this. So we could be looking at something quite interesting here, but it's got a long way to go. We've got some disasters to get through still. But if anybody knows what's really going on in Has-Been's life, this is the girl. This is really the girl. And I say that because of that Seven of Swords in reverse. He's telling her stuff. And that Moon in reverse, she knows stuff about Megan. That is interesting. We're going to have to dig around some more. But I've got another reading to do. And so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over on the next one.